We're with Union City Police Sergeant George Louth. Sergeant Louth, could you relay the circumstances of the incident of which Officer Wendell Adams was sickened after eating a portion of a hamburger, a big and tasty burger, at McDonald's?
Well, this past Friday at about 1:30 in the morning, Officer Adams went on his meal break and chose to go to McDonald's, which is one of 4 locations that on a weeknight we have available. Picked up the hamburger meal from the drive-thru area, began to consume it, and upon the second bite, began noticing a burning to his throat, on down towards his stomach. He started gagging and subsequently became ill, physically ill. In the process of this, he had made contact back with the manager who was on duty at McDonald's in reference to the hamburger, and also summoned his supervisor, who was Lieutenant Eugene Tate. Lieutenant Tate responded to the location, saw the degree at which Officer Adams was ill, and summoned medical help for him. In the process of doing so, he noticed a McDonald's employee that was outside, female employee that was laughing at the situation, apparently was laughing. Lieutenant Tate specifically asked if she thought this was funny, and she changed her demeanor somewhat at that point in time. This subject later on was identified as the cook of the hamburger, Kendra Bull. Another officer was summoned to do an incident report and investigation because Officer Adams was not able to do so. And during the process of the investigation, it became apparent there was several inconsistencies and different stories that were being told as to what had actually transpired. But what was evident was there was an abundant, excessive amount of seasoning mix that was placed on this hamburger, amongst others, apparently. And Ms. Bull, who was in the process of preparing the hamburger, made no reasonable steps to correct the situation. And in serving this hamburger to the consumer, regardless who it was, she thereby endangered the health, safety, and well-being of that individual. In the case of Officer Adams, at one point in time, his blood pressure had gotten up to the vicinity of 180/120. He absolutely refused to be transported to the hospital by ambulance, and another officer took him to Southern Regional, where he was treated and released approximately 4 hours later.
And Officer Adams has no history of high blood pressure?
He has no history of high blood pressure or any health issues that we're aware of.
And this situation is what led to charging Ms. Bull with reckless conduct?
Correct. You were dealing with several possibilities. One, that this accidental over-application of seasoning mix occurred and she made no reasonable attempts to correct the situation before presenting the product for service. Or that this was a purposeful act in some way, shape, or form to contaminate product, shall we say, going out the window of this establishment, or that it was a purposeful act specific to a law enforcement officer.